Hi, this is Wendy Fracchia. I am with Murdock Escorted Tours. I'm the operations manager, and we want to welcome you today to our Wednesday webinar series that we just started. And we are thrilled today to be joined by Beth Elwood. Now, Beth, I've also got Lindsay as your last name. You're going to have to tell me what's your correct last name, because on your Zoom it says Elwood, so now I'm confused. But I would love for you just to take a second and introduce yourself. I'd love to hear a little bit of your background and like, how did you get started in travel? How did you get connected with Star Clippers? And then what do you just love most about your job?
Oh, thank you, Wendy. Happy to share. Yes, it is Beth Elwood. I've been in the industry quite some time. I started on the airline side and then got smart in the early 90s, moved to the West Coast and joined the cruise side of the industry. I kept my maiden name, Lindsley, because so many people know me from the years I've been in the industry. 7 years ago is when I started with Star Clippers. I was seeking an opportunity that allowed me to represent an experience, a vacation experience that was really like no other. I was intrigued by the sails, although I'm not a sailor, didn't know anything about clipper ships. And so I said, this is for me. I actually didn't sail until 8 weeks after I signed my contract. And I can tell you, I loved every moment of it. So to join you today makes me very, very happy, because I am passionate about Star Clippers' authentic sailing experience, and very happy to share with your listeners and your viewers at Morris Columbus Travel exactly what this will be.
So you were like immediately converted.
Immediately, yes.
So do you have like an adventurous spirit? Is that kind of what intrigued you to this, or is it's just fun? It's fun for everybody.
I think what attracted me the most is that I have been on the big ship side experience for a very long time, and you can have the crowds and you can have lots to choose from, and really kind of a lot of decisions before and while you're on the ship and etc. And I was really looking for that opportunity to have joie de vivre back. And this is exactly what this does, because we're intimate in guest count. It's a new journey. I mean, frankly, it's actual sailing. Yeah. And it's a way to see the world very up close and personal, truly differently than a typical cruise. That's what we want to share with your clients today.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm going to let you get into it, because I am just excited to have you go through all this information and learn from this.
Beautiful. Well, welcome and thank you to everyone for joining us. As you look at this slide, I'd like you to imagine yourself on the teak deck of a timelessly elegant clipper ship. A warm breeze is blowing softly. And in the background, Vangelis' 1492 Conquest of Paradise is playing as the captain and his crew unfurl 54,000 square feet of sails above you. You begin to tingle from head to toe. And as you sail into the sunset onto tomorrow's next hidden cove, you sigh when you realize this is the most incredible experience you've ever had. Now, I hope you'll join us for the next 30 seconds and get a glimpse of what this is all about. I hope you're ready to go. So what makes Star Clippers so uniquely different and frankly an unrivaled type of vacation experience? It is the sails. It's a different journey. So we're not a typical cruise. Cruise ships move via their motors, and we actually have a captain and a crew on board, and we capture the wind, and this is what propels the ship as the primary way to move from gorgeous place to gorgeous place. Now, I can share with you that we do actually have a motor that allows us to keep you cool and comfortable when you're on the inside of the ship, as well as keeping us on schedule should we have the need. But being on a sailing ship, again, true sailing vessel, there's a lot of unique experiences that we have for our guests. I'll share those with you momentarily, but unique sailing aspects. Back to the sailing part of it, we've actually built our itineraries on the wind charts so that 70 to 90% of the time, on average, we're utilizing the sails, again, to take us from place to place. Now, while you see all the sails up here, and that's probably fairly common on many of our itineraries, or at least where there is the most wind, but I am here to say that sailing is about capturing the wind with the correct sails so that you are moving to where you're looking to go to be. One thing I adore about our itineraries is that it is the combination of what probably Wendy and I and others would say bucket list, places that you've always wanted to see, but it's also those off the beaten path hidden gems that you really don't know about. Why can we do that? It's because we are a small sailing vessel. So when you see Milos, Greece here on the screen, it's the opportunity for us to simply just drop anchor, then tender our guests to these gorgeous beaches and or to shore and allow you to explore from there. I like to say that we go to, again, lots of places that give you a more in-depth view of a destination. Again, the no lines and the no crowds, not only on board, but in port. So again, just a really nice, relaxing experience. We've got a real friendly crew on board, and they will introduce themselves from the captain all the way down to the frontline staff, including our sports team. And the ambiance on board is casual and relaxed. So for dress code, there are no jackets or ties required. And during the day, you're going to be wearing truly what's apropos for where you're going and going to see and what you will do, or your suit because you're going to be lying out in the sun or enjoying the pools on board. And then at dinner, just a slight step up, what we might call resort casual.
Mm-hmm. Love that for the packing.
Very easy for the packing. Don't overpack. What I also appreciate is that you will dine well on board because our chefs are Michelin trained. Now, all your meals and your snacks are included on your 7-night itinerary that we'll be highlighting shortly, and frankly, any Star Clipper sailing. And so again, you'll dine well. On this particular image, I want you to take a look and get a sense for the ship. It's the opportunity to let you know that the ships are larger than perhaps what you have imagined them to be. 2 of the ships are actually a football field long, end zone to end zone. Royal Clipper, which is our largest ship, is a football field and a half long. Now, the ships only hold 165 guests to 225 guests. So very spacious, yet again, intimate guest count.
That's one of the things I love is the guest count.
Yes. And we move through the water differently because a typical cruise ship has a shallow hull, and cruise ships, no matter what their size, they sit on top of the water. So the movement of the ship is as if you were sitting in a rocking chair. You're sitting down deep, or sitting down, and then that soothing forward and backward movement as you might be in that rocking chair is the movement of the ship.
So that's what it feels like when the sails are up and you're going.
Right. Yes. And the wind caught by the correct sails, again, steadies the ship. So please don't envision a side by side. We have a very adept captain and crew and a styled sailing vessel that allows us to move smoothly through the water. Also, we don't have a casino on board. So cruise ships move out to the international waters, which is usually 6 to 10 miles from shore. And because we don't have that on board or have that need, we hug coastlines, and we also often sail within the waters that you are traveling. So again, a much different type of, I think, idea of the ship and the movement, and again, sailing close to the shores. Probably to sum it up, Star Clippers is really like a casual, relaxing, private yacht-like experience on tall ships. Our tall ships are near replicas of clipper ships from that golden age of sailing that have modern amenities and accommodations on board. Let's take a look at what you can expect life on board to be about.
I am so excited about this.
This is the bowsprit netting at the front of the ship, Wendy, and it is a place where our guests can go out and relax and enjoy. It takes a little bit of, sure-footedness, but I can guarantee you it's a view truly like no other. We have an open bridge policy on board the ship, which means that any traveler can pop their head into the navigational hut, or you'll see the captain or one of the officers at the wheel. And so you can have a conversation, you can ask those questions. And we schedule unique sailing activities such as climbing the midship mast. Absolutely guaranteed, whether you climb and you're 100 feet off the top deck of the ship, or you simply watch, it is breathtaking and well worth taking many, many pictures. There's more tame opportunities, such as knot tying. Maybe we'll have a captain's conversation or a behind the scenes type of tour, including the engine room. That's why you look at your daily planner and take a peek at what activities will be available throughout each and every day and evening. Back to the opportunity to ask to take the helm. And another great opportunity is to speak with the cruise director. Wendy, I'm charging you to do this because you're going to be escorting your group, to speak with the cruise director and ask to help set the sails. I guarantee you, lots of fun, kind of a giggle. And I say that because you'll be taught how to move and to actually set them up. But it is harder than you think, and it will take quite a few people. So something fun to look forward
when I'm
to.
looking, my husband is a Navy vet, so I cannot wait to say I'm a sailor as well.
Good. Everyone will be that way. Part of what's included in Star Clipper's pricing are the complimentary water sports. Here you see that we have kayaks, we have snorkeling equipment on board. There's opportunities for windsurfing and sailboating. Now, this is generally available, is available at every place that we sail, whether it's Caribbean, whether it's Costa Rica, whether it's throughout the Mediterranean. So it just simply depends on the water and the weather, as well as the opportunity where the captain is taking the ship. But that is included in your pricing.
So now, Beth, you did this itinerary. So
yes,
what type of things did you do on this itinerary, just to kind of give an idea? Like, was there the kayaking, or did you do snorkeling, or is it just being out in the water?
Probably on the itinerary that we're highlighting, Wendy, it'll be more of an opportunity to jump in the Mediterranean, swim around, lie on one of the maps, and or be tethered and snorkel away from the ship. When you're also in Lipari, which is an island just off the coast of Sicily, there's nice beach there that perhaps you can take for example, take your snorkeling equipment and come on into the water. But our water sports are actually going to be scheduled. So I personally take advantage of it when it's made available, no matter what itinerary. I do love to swim and snorkel. But truly, it does depend on the waters that we're in. Sometimes it's restricted based on the governments and the waters we're in, as well as the weather. How's the water that day and etc.
Right.
So
yeah, keeping everybody safe.
But one of the things I do enjoy is right here on our screen.
I was going to say, what a picture to leave us on there.
So as I mentioned, all your meals are included, and sometimes we have the opportunity to just do the full luncheon buffet, for example, right in the tropical bar area, which is covered and really part of the heartbeat of the ship. One of the things that I thoroughly enjoy, and totally, I know you will all enjoy this as well, is that the dining rooms on board our ships hold the entire ship. It's a continental mix of guests on board. It's very convivial, which means that it's really easy to meet others and see them, whether they're on a shore excursion with you, whether you dine with them at dinner, wherever you might be on the ship. And when you come to the dining room, and I'll speak to dinner, for example, dinner is between 7:30 and 10. I can guarantee you that at no later than 8 o'clock, 8:15, the entire dining room is filled. And the reason being is that there's no later dining coming in behind you. There's no hurry. You're going to be able to relax and enjoy, dine with whom you want, when you want, regale your day. And again, it's just a really nice, moment of your day before then, after dinner, you decide that you're going to do a little activity after dinner. Speaking of which, light entertainment on board the ship. One of my favorite things is Pirate Night. You can see that some of our guests do dress up, and then after dinner in the tropical bar, there's some fun pirate type of games. So whether you choose to dress up or participate or simply relax and enjoy and watch others, very much up to you. This gentleman on the left is tied to the pole in the dining room. He was there probably a good hour because as you came down the stairs into this particular dining room, it startled you to see that he was hanging there all tied up as maybe one of those bad pirates. But it was very, very cute. It's a past guest of ours that knew what to expect and worked with our crew.
Oh, wow.
There are ports of call on this itinerary that I will imagine that we will bring folkloric entertainment to the ship. This happens to be images from when we were in Greece last year, but I was on board last October, as you know, Wendy, on this exact same itinerary that we're highlighting. And they had lovely entertainment brought to the ship. Again, because there's some ports of call where we stay late till like 11 or 12 o'clock at night, and therefore we can do that. But no matter what you choose to do during the day or the night, again, get to know us, become part of our family, and just really relax and have fun. Real quickly, just want to highlight who are some of the guests that sail with Star Clippers. Our guests have to be mobile because we don't have elevators on board, not because you have to climb the midship mast, as you see here, but there's 4 decks with no elevators. And in many of the ports of call, Wendy, we actually will drop anchor, which means that our guests come down a gangway and then step into a tender boat, small tender boat, which will take you either to shore or to another dock. So mobility is key. But honestly, we see all ages because it is that adventure in your heart, not your age. So we see from, the 25-year-olds all the way up to those in their 80s.
When I became a grandma, you don't get to go anymore.
No, not at all. I actually sailed with 2 83-year-old women in Bali, Indonesia, these women had the time of their life. We see groups on board. That's why we've invited you and those that would like to join you. We see families, we see couples, we see solo travelers. So again, a very, very nice mix of guests that you will enjoy meeting. Lots of crossover from those that have cruised before, large, medium, small ships, riverboat cruisers. Again, you know of an intimate experience, you know that up close and personal, and that itinerary option of bucket list as well as off the beaten path. We invite our non-cruisers and those that we affectionately call anti-cruisers, those who never want to step on a cruise ship. Bottom line, we're not a typical cruise, so please consider, and we know you'll enjoy. And one of my favorite things that we love to share is that we know, again, you will come on board and absolutely be blown away by this experience. Our guests repeat within the first year. 60% of our guests repeat within the first year, not just in general, the first year. So please join us.
Good record.
Yes, we know you'll have fun. So at this point, let's introduce the ship that will be the ship featured for your group sailing. I've placed this image here so you can see this is in the Marine National Park waters of Thailand, which we're currently not sailing. But it gives you a really nice idea of, again, how up close and personal we can be with serenity and beauty all around you. Again, no big cruise ships, really those hidden places that are just incredible. But the Starflyer is a football field long. She has 36,000 square feet of sails. She has 2 swimming pools. Here's the midship pool. She also has 83 staterooms on board, and I'll share that with you momentarily. Lots of room to roam. The tropical bar is the heartbeat of the ship. Here's where you will first come when we welcome you on board, and then you'll go just across from this bar area into the library to open your house account. You will also just go up the stairs to on each side of the tropical bar to get to the top deck, the sun deck. You will gather here to meet for shore excursions, evening entertainment, etc. The ships are very nautical in style and feel, as you can well imagine. This is a continental breakfast display that you're seeing here. So you will not starve on board. We have everything from continental breakfast early morning, an expansive buffet for breakfast, an expansive buffet for lunch, which is very often themed, and then full menued service at dinner. And then if you're up to the wee hours, we have midnight snacks. We also have a 24/7 coffee and tea bar, easily accessible in one corner of this piano lounge. And we also have a drinking fountain because we do promote healthy lifestyle and recycling. So if you'd like, bring your own container to refill.
So in that little area right there, those little pictures on that other, if you can go back to that other slide, that's the bottom of the pool, right?
Yes, it is. I laugh, don't skinny dip because you may be seen. But another thing to point out here, which I absolutely love, is you have full views of the sea. So even if you're inside, you want to relax, maybe read a book, maybe have a personal conversation, whatever, you can still have a beautiful view outside. And same with the library. This is another quiet place. It's also a lending library. Turn your book in when you're finished, take one from the library, return it if you'd like, or take with board games, etc.
I was going to say, this looks like such a fun place in the afternoon to go and play cards and just kind of like, you know, when you get your sunburn in the morning and you're just ready to relax and have a drink in the afternoon. That would be a lovely place just to hang out.
Absolutely agreed. And here in the dining room, this is one of the displays, probably either for breakfast or lunch. There's lots of choice between hot and cold. In the breakfast, there's the omelet bar. There's usually a carving station at lunchtime. And again, lots of choice. And introducing the type of accommodations on board, all very, very comfortable. What you're seeing on the top right is the deluxe ocean view. Those are considered category 1s, and there's 8 of them, so they go quickly. We do have an owner's cabin on board, but the bulk of the inventory are the type of accommodations you see at the bottom. Ocean view, either for single occupancy or double occupancy, convertible bedding, and the one in the middle also is a triple, so we can have 3 people in a row.
That surprised me that you guys could accommodate a triple. I would have never thought that was an option.
You bet. And noting that you either have a full picture window in the deluxe ocean view or you have a porthole, that's your ocean view, and that's a-okay on a sailing vessel. They don't open, so don't worry. If you forget to shut it, water's not going to come in. They don't open. But you are above the water line, which is something we always get asked.
Yes.
Okie doke, now's the fun part as well. Let's talk about this amazing itinerary that you, Wendy, are going to be escorting next May 2024 to the gorgeous Amalfi Coast and Sicily.
Just saying the Amalfi Coast, we're gonna be on a sailing ship down the Amalfi Coast. It just makes you feel like, I don't know, it's not entitled, but it makes you feel special. I don't know. I'm excited.
Well, it's a very, it's just so enticing. It's stunningly beautiful. The weather will be fantastic. Really one of my favorites. I share this visual so you can get a sense of the itinerary. And when you depart from Civitavecchia, which is the port area outside of Rome that the ship will leave from, you actually, if you follow the arrow, you're going to go to your farthest point, where you're going to go to Sicily, first stopping in Lipari, which is a fishing town, and then you'll go to Messina on the Sicily proper, if you will. And then you start moving back. You'll end up going back towards the southern tip of Italy to Amalfi, then to Sorrento, and then to Ponza and the Pontine Islands off the coast of Italy as you ultimately return to Civitavecchia. Rome, as you know, is very romantic. It's very charismatic. There's lots of art. There's lots of culture. And frankly, the Italians really do seem to have an innate knack for what they call la dolce vita, which means life immersed in beauty, elegance, the pleasures of the five senses, really enjoying in the moment and having as much passion as possible. You're going to board your Star your Star Clipper between 4 and 6 p.m. And once you're on board, you'll open your house account, which is just the same thing that you do when you go to a hotel. You provide a credit card, they give you a key, etc. So you'll open your house account and then start exploring your home away from home. Tonight, before dinner, I might suggest, or later in the evening, the shore excursion book will be in the library. And I suggest you go there, sign up for what you would like to do, what interests you, and what you want to take advantage of while you're on this particular itinerary. So for next year, our shore excursions will be on the website, available through you, Wendy, probably in first quarter of 24. Right. We do have the 2023 shore excursions, so people can get an idea of what will be available, etc. But the reason I even bring this up is you will sign up for your shore excursions on board the ship. And because some of the excursions have a minimum guest count or a maximum guest count or both, we don't want you to miss. This is their trip of a lifetime. Yes. So, if you have a moment after you've explored the ship, before dinner, etc., go into the library, and having looked at your shore excursions, maybe on your flight over, maybe a month or two in advance, just come on in and sign up for them. Then you're going to go to the Clipper Dining Room at 7:30 for one of your many delicious meals throughout the week. And at 10 o'clock tonight, the captain and crew invite you to come up to the sun deck for your first sail away, for your first tingle from head to toe. And raise your glass in celebration, because you're going to embark on an amazing journey ahead.
I was just noticing that picture doesn't have the sails up, and that's the first picture that we've seen just with the riggings and not the sails.
You betcha. So she's probably still in port or just having moved from port, with the sails going up shortly afterwards. Now you're going to find out what's available, the scheduled activities, not only for tonight, but to follow. They're going to be evening activities are generally held in the tropical bar after the dinner hour. You'll always have music and dancing till the wee hours, which will be available, but you'll also have fun things, again, that'll be highlighted each and every daily planner, which you will get for the next day at Turndown in your cabin. But I mentioned pirate night. There possibly will be a white night. I won't share details, but maybe pack something that's white. Folkloric entertainment, which I mentioned, and much, much more. Next day is your day at sea. And this is what I love as well, because it's an opportunity for the captain to introduce himself, to introduce his officers and other members of the team that, again, you will get to know. And that's, again, one of the parts that I love about Star Clipper's sailing experience is when you're on a big cruise ship, this does not happen. So again, just a lovely way. And you're in the tropical bar, which is where he is in the top left corner. But things that you might take advantage of, climbing the midship mast. So they will actually be scheduled. And that's why you need to make sure you're looking at that daily planner so you know when to do that. I like to share a little bit of insight. You do need closed-toed shoes, tennis shoes, that type of thing. And I always suggest coming out about 10 minutes ahead of time, because it's usually held for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And there's usually a second time during a 7-night sailing when they schedule them. But just let the sports team know. You'll know the sports team. They'll be in blue and white striped shirts, and just let them know, hey, I'm here to climb. Also bring your camera, because if you're the one not climbing, it's great fun. Certainly the pools will be open. There's deck space to relax and enjoy. And you can also schedule massages. Now we do that. I was
going to say that masseuse down there is looking pretty good to me.
That'll be in a private area under the tarp on deck. So enjoy that. And then we have things like the early morning stretch classes, maybe in the afternoon, walk a mile. So an opportunity again for you to continue your own fitness schedule. And really get to know the ship, maybe join others and take fun pictures. These are some of the groups that we've held on board. And of course, the top right is them on the bowsprit netting. I wanted to mention too that every afternoon from 5 to 6, there's a mini buffet in the tropical bar, which is again a nice way to come together, have a nosh before dinner, and again, maybe take advantage of the mocktail or cocktail of the day. Tonight's dinner and entertainment will be available. And, I'm going to suggest you actually maybe go to bed early tonight, because the next day and beyond is when your real adventures begin. So when you set sail, as you're continuing to your day at sea, you will pass by generally around 7 to 8 o'clock at night. Again, it would be noted in your daily planner. This is the Isle of Stromboli and her active volcano. This is a picture from last October that my husband and I took on this same itinerary. And they call her the lighthouse of the Mediterranean because it really does light up the sky. We look a lot closer than we are in this image, but again, it was absolutely spectacular.
That is so cool.
The next day, your visit is Lipari, which is part of the volcanic islands collectively as the Aeolian Islands. And they are in the Tyrrhenian Sea, which is between Sicily and southern Italy. So it's very, very close to Sicily. There's a bustling village here. Enjoy the lively cafes, the restaurants, and some beautiful artisan shops. I personally bought some beautiful things when I was here. Maybe you'd like to enjoy a tour of the island or a boat ride to Volcano, which is a visit to the thermal wells. So these are shore excursions that are available and maybe something you'd like to enjoy. We expect to be here probably from about 10 in the morning till about 6 in the evening. And this is one of the islands that we will go to where the ship will actually be at anchor, and you will take the tender boat right in to this particular harbor to get off.
And this again is one of those cool things, because how many people go to Lipari? It's not a tourist area.
No.
This is a special, unique experience that our ship will be at. Not
exactly.
Not overrun by all the tourists.
You have it right on the nose. This is one of my favorite ports of call. I've been there twice. I would go back many, many times again. So on day 4 of this itinerary, you are actually coming through the Straits of Messina. And as you're coming into the beautiful entryway, it's a long entryway into Messina, Sicily, and you'll see a beautiful statue on your left, and you'll see the port far ahead of you, and the ship will make her way into and towards the port, and boom, next thing you know, she's actually moving street side, docking, and off the ship you go. So we're small enough that we do not have to go where the big ships are, and generally places when you're in port and you're with thousands of other people, it's usually a long ride to get to the main attractions. Star Clipper will just simply slip street side, off you go. And the excursion, there's 2 of them that I'm going to suggest here. One is Taormina itself. It's a beautiful resort town. It's high up on where you are here. This image is Mount Toro. And as you look over to the other side is the calm Ionian Sea. But here in the very, very famous amphitheater, which has this opening, you can see Mount Etna. And this is a clear day. So Mount Etna, you can see her peak. It is absolutely spectacular.
Oh, it really is.
I kind of equate it to Denali, the mountain in Alaska. There's days when it's just shrouded at the top with the clouds, but fingers crossed you have a perfect view from here. The town is filled with squares, there's churches, there's restaurants, there's cafes. Actually, the best cannoli you will ever have. So take a moment, maybe pick a couple to try, find a place to sit down and just take it all in, savor it. One of the other opportunities for a shore excursion here is to do not only Taormina, but also a Sicilian brunch on the slopes of Mount Etna. And I think that is like 7-hour type of shore excursion, but that too would be absolutely incredible.
Wow.
This particular excursion I'm describing with just simply Taormina is about 4.5 hours. There are beautiful shops here. So honestly, even if you're traveling in May, you can still shop, do some of your Christmas shopping now if you'd like, but really just some of the takeaway. Sicily's, what do I want to call it? Country image, if you will, is the pine cone. So I commend to you, research that and what it means. So I think it probably has something to do with a welcoming aspect, but again, very, very beautiful. And of course, the beautiful countryside and the drives that you'll thoroughly enjoy. And I share this with you because, again, we set sail at sunset, and this is just one of the beautiful, serene aspects of this experience.
You know, it's just wow.
It is a wow. The next day, you're going to be in Amalfi. And again, here is another place that you will be at anchor. We will tender you to one of the docks here. And Amalfi is actually the namesake town of Italy's very famous Amalfi coastline. It's got an old world charm, and it was once the capital of their powerful maritime republic. It's a combination here of intricate history, dramatic natural scenery, and delicious fresh seafood. We're going to be here from the afternoon, about 3 p.m. till 11:30 at night. Now, Amalfi is also a UNESCO heritage site, and it really truly offers that incomparable beauty, uncontaminated beaches, bays, caves, inlets, and of course the villages that are perched high on top of the cliffs. The entire Amalfi coast is very well known for its limes and its lemons. It's very famous limoncello, again, which makes a very, very nice gift, the olive groves, and the bougainvillea.
It smells fantastic. It is one of my most favorite places.
I'm glad to hear that. Mine too. So you can enjoy Amalfi. There are several shore excursion options available, or you can certainly do it on your own. One of the excursions that my husband and I took, had always heard about Positano, have seen many, many pictures of this particular beautiful city, town, if you will, that's just embedded right in that mountainside, very chic, sort of shishi, an artisan colony, lots of shopping, beautiful beaches. And it's actually a beautiful boat ride, shore excursion. And the Amalfi coast from the boat is exquisite. And then you come into and tender here in Positano to enjoy. Beautiful artisan work too. My husband and I bought a beautiful, inexpensive, but gorgeous acrylic painting that we have yet to frame, but we certainly will do so. The next day, you're going to Sorrento. So you're moving a little bit further north on the Amalfi coast. And again, you come to this dramatic cliffside, mountainous area where Sorrento is just perched right out up on top. Now, this is going to be a gateway to an incredible shore excursion, which is visiting the ancient city of Pompeii and Mount Vesuvius. In 79 AD, the entire town of Pompeii, 20,000 residents, was completely covered in ash and so incredibly well preserved. You will see people, you will see animals, and wow, it's mind-blowing at how creative and the ingenuity that they had to manage the rainfall and the drainage.
This site is just being in Pompeii. Yeah, the ruins and what they've been able to salvage and just seeing this part of history is so incredibly unique. And I cannot recommend it high enough. And they've just opened up a whole new area to Pompeii. So if you've been there once, you haven't seen it all.
I agree 100%. I'm also going to point something out. I love this itinerary for the three triumphant volcanoes. So you have Vesuvius here on the Amalfi Coast, just outside of Sorrento. You passed in the sea, Stromboli,
Stromboli.
which is active, and then you will have visited Sicily for Mount Etna. So all three very, very famous. Another opportunity is Capri, and it's very, very famous Blue Grotto, because once you're there, that blue just reflects off of every aspect and is quite incredible. So lots to see and do. Make your choices wisely, and certainly lock in a shore excursion well in advance once you're on board to take advantage of
That's
this.
always the hardest part.
I agree. I agree. My husband and I almost decided, you take one, I'll take the other, and let's come back and talk about each of them.
I was going to say, being in Sorrento on a cruise previously, my husband and I's, one of the funnest things that we just did was wander the streets and shop, and you know how memories are, are tied to food and different things, and we just kept smelling the most fantastic food, and the smells and was just everywhere, and we finally found this amazing rooftop restaurant.
Oh,
We had we took the card because we said we have to remember this place, because it was just one of those memories that we will always have. Of course, we don't know where it is again, and I'm sure any other restaurant we go to, we will have the same memory. But these, those are the things. It's like there's all these wonderful tours, but then also just the experience of being in these towns and being involved in the culture and the food and the shopping. You just can't help but be taken in by the whole experience.
and I'm glad you said that. I personally have been to Sorrento twice, and I did the Pompeii experience and was so glad I did. It was just absolutely breathtaking. But this trip, my husband and I did do the wandering, and we found a lovely restaurant where we just indulged and thoroughly
I'm sure
enjoyed.
there's 1,000 of them, and everything will be fantastic. The olive oil, oh my gosh, and the lemon.
We're coming close to the end of this amazing experience. The last day will be visiting the Pontine Islands, which are just off the coast of Italy, just south of Rome. And again, this relaxing fishing town, very inviting people, great seafood, very easy to wander and relax and enjoy. And Wendy, one of my insights about this itinerary is that you visited Lipari at the front end, then you had wonderful, center Sorrento and Amalfi and Taormina, where I really expect you to kind of go and see and do and what have you. And then at the end of this itinerary, again, a relaxing visit, still kind of taking it all in, still doing that savoring of this whole experience, but in a much more relaxed way. It's really a nice way to start and have an incredible visit throughout the middle.
Yeah.
And tonight we set sail once again at sunset. I know you're going to have amazing memories. I know you will have made very, very good friends. Please join us on board for your last sail away, your last tingle from head to toe. Truly memories that you will take with you for a lifetime. Wendy, I wondered if you could speak to some of the pricing now that we've savored and we've smelled vicariously and visually taken it all in. Perhaps you can invite our listeners to understand how this program is priced.
So the prices that you're seeing here actually represent a special group discount that's available until the end of June. And so it is a discount off of the brochure rates. What we don't have actually, let's see, listed here, and I thought that we did, is the special onboard credit that we also get for being part of this group. So there's $115 or $230 per cabin shipboard credit that you get as being part of a group. I was explaining it to somebody the other day that basically it's your prepaid gratuities and a couple of drinks. So that is a nice little way that you can look at spending your shipboard credit or to go towards an excursion. I think that it is, when you when you think about the experience of what this is on a small sailing experience, compare it to a river cruise. You have got a fantastic vacation for a really great price. Now, that category 6 is an inside cabin with an upper and lower bed. That had to be pointed out to me because I'm the kind of person that's like, I'm never going to be in that cabin. I'm going to sleep and change my clothes and I'm gone. And there's no balconies, on this ship. So, and then I'm like, yeah, but I don't think I want the upper and lower thing. But, there's only a couple of those, and actually they're usually the last ones to sell, because people always want these other experience. One of the other things, Beth, I love about these cabins is they're so nautical and they're all unique. So again, it's all part of the experience of being on board the ship, and that you are having like, it's almost like a cruise, but it's like a full 7-day excursion. It's hard to call it a cruise, but it's like you go on these cruises and then you go on these excursions on a sail ship somewhere like this to go into some of these wonderful bays. And this is a whole week having that experience.
Very, very true.
This is just unique. And I appreciate that you mentioned that this is for people who live an active lifestyle, that, you don't have to be a fitness, person in order to enjoy it. You can certainly go and do all the different things. But you do need to be steady on your feet, and you do need to be able to get on and off a tender and things like that. But I think that the people who have shown interest in this are all the 50 and over, as well as some youngers. And I say youngers because I've hit that milestone. But, it is an experience. And I love the multicultural experience that you shared, because I have had people want to bring their grandchildren, and I think it's fantastic. So on our website, which is mmetours.com, under cruises, you can find all the details about this again, and the different things on the cabins. I love that the cabin descriptions have the square footage. So if you do get claustrophobic, you're going to want to take a look at maybe spending a little more on your cabin to get a little extra room. But I think you did a fantastic job of painting a picture of what this experience is, and just how unique it is. One of the things that we are going to be doing on this is a pre-tour of Rome, and we're going to have some more details on that soon. But if you've been to Rome or haven't been to Rome, we're kind of crafting a unique experience there with experiences in doing a pasta making class, as well as underground at the Colosseum.
Ooh.
And so, going up to the top of the Vatican. So, we'll do those must do things, but we're going to do them a little different. And again, it's just kind of the unique experience that we want to build with this kind of adventure itinerary that we've picked and put together. One of the other things that, we'll just put out on this webinar is, you said once, this is a race for space, because there is only 88 cabins, and they do, those larger cabins are the first ones to book, because people see the value in those.
They do.
And so we won't know airfares until June, because you can only book airfare 11 months before the cruise. But we're going to, have the pre-Rome as well as airfare and other options. And one of the great things about being with a group is, especially on a cruise, you can be as involved with the group, or just take advantage of me being there to take care of you if you need something. Or, we can hang out and we can just have a ton of fun together, because this is what this trip is about. It's about fun. It's about laughing, and it's about having an experience that is like none other.
I appreciate everything that you stated. Your pre-trip sounds amazing. Those are truly the things that your travelers will want to do. And just to reiterate, it is not too early to make your reservation for 2024.
To get those discounted rates and that shipboard credit end of June is when, you know, we're trying to get everybody under deposit. The deposit is $400 per person for, I think, is it category 1 or 6 through 4, and then 800 for the per person, Beth?
Close. 400 per person for category 2 down to 6.
Oh,
and then category 1 and owners, the deluxe accommodations will be the 800 per person.
All right, perfect.
And the bulk of the inventory I was just going to add is Ocean View and cats 2, 3, and 4. And I'm sure you have posted the deck plan. So cat 2 will be on the Clipper deck, cats 3 and 4 will primarily be on the Commodore deck, and your category 1s will be on the main deck, where our guests enter from the ship deck itself. So very, very interesting. They're very, very comfortable. There's a lot of good storage space, including under the bed. So unpack into the drawers in the closet and put your suitcase away. Again, very, very comfortable accommodations. And you're right. This is an outdoor, on deck, on shore, joie de vivre type of experience. So yes, we want you to have a great night's sleep, which you will. And then again, relax, enjoy, take it all in.
And you're going to eat very well. And there'll be tons of gelato. So we have well exceeded our expected 30 minutes, but I do want to ask if anybody has any questions that we could answer. One of the things I was going to say is our ship is the Star Flyer. Is that correct, Beth? I was going to say, I thought I had that right. Now, yeah, we're on the Star Flyer. Why did I second guess that? But it is a sister ship. And so if you join us on this one, or if you go on the other Star Clipper ship, it's going to look just like what Beth explained here.
I'm sorry if I mixed the two ships up, but it's correct on this screen.
Yeah, and I was going to say, and then the Royal is the other ship that is a larger, is a little bit larger. That picture made it seem like it was a bit larger, but it's just a little bit, as you said, and all of them are a fantastic experience. Thank you for posting this information as well. So I don't see that anybody's unmuted themselves, so I think that we're probably good. You did a fantastic job of explaining this experience. So thank you. Thank you for your time and your preparation and being with us today. And I appreciate everybody spending this time with us. I hope you were excited. And oh, whoops, I got a chat message down. Oh, you are absolutely welcome. And thank you again for being here. And I hope you'll join us in May next year. And if not, then then on a Star Clipper experience at some other point. So have a fantastic day, everybody. Thank you again, Beth. And
you're welcome.
We'll see y'all later. Thank you.